Yeah. What's good, Joe? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, doing representing. As always, I got my man with me. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Game Radio all day. Monday night boxing. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Hey, yo, man. So who's banned from the bodega this week?
We'll get into that later on because certain people caping for certain races that may or may no longer be with us. That needs to be talked about. We're going to talk about that later.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I have a feeling I know what it is. And yeah, we need to talk about it because it's starting to get a little disgusting out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we had a couple of cards this past weekend. One of which that King P over here was able to go to. Basically, it's known as Top Rank's last show on ESPN for the time being. Or at least the rumors are being that ESPN doesn't want to be tied down to one promoter anymore. That they actually want to kind of air other fights from any other promoter or any promotion. But we'll see how that goes. But this is the last fight under the 9-year deal that they kind of signed, or 7. Excuse me, it was like 7 years. It was a 7-year deal.
I was gonna say it hasn't been 9. It hasn't been 9 years, but
no. I thought it was like no, it's 7 because I remember when they did it though. But yeah, no, King P, man. So yeah, tell us, man, like, what was the vibe like? And I know you probably watch more of like the prelims and stuff like that, and we'll definitely get more when we get up the card. Because I definitely have my thoughts on the main and the co-main and stuff like that, though. But what was the overall vibe of the crowd and everything?
Oh, it was fucking lit. Like that shit was packed. The crowd showed up early. They pulled up early.
Okay.
So, and like everybody, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans. There was so many flags. There was people coming from Brooklyn, the Bronx, all over the place because we had a healthy assortment of everybody. So it was the vibes were there. It definitely passed the vibe check.
Okay, that's what it is.
So like they said, and the Dominicans showed up early because there was a couple of Dominicans. So they definitely came to support their compadres. So saying? Shout out to Broadway. I seen him, Broadway Joel. I seen him front and center. I seen him waving the Dominican flag. I seen him with all his people. So I chopped up with him. So salute to Broadway. So
salute Broadway Joel. Yep.
It was. What up, Marquise? What up, gang?
What's good? What's good, Marquise?
So yeah, no, it was good chopping it up with the people and just checking out the vibe and shit like that. So it started off good, like it off so far, and it got better as the night went by. So
okay,
I'm happy with the crowd. There were people that were like, "Damn, this should have been." I can't tell you. There was a bunch of people that left thinking, "Damn, this should have been in the big room."
Yeah, for some reason, Top Rank never. I mean, there had a few exceptions. Obviously, remember when we saw Crawford and Mean Machine and Teofimo and Comey. It wasn't the big room. It wasn't the big room, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
they put that in the big room. When Teo fought Sandor, it was in the big room. Trying to remember what else was in the big room. I think there was a Loma fight in the big room, I believe. I'm trying to remember which one though.
Yeah, no, I think there were a couple in the big room, but it just seemed like Top Rank was never consistent. Either they underestimated the crowd they think they were going to get, or they just was like, okay, we don't want to have the expectation of trying to fill up everything and then go to the small room and have it like, oh yeah, it's a full house, that type of deal.
Well, I think honestly, just from what I know about Madison Square Garden, I think part of it was, I don't think you know this, but like to be in the big room, it's expensive. The fees for MSG are crazy. Like
I believe it, yeah.
And so like to get in the big room, you got to pay more. So like sometimes they're looking at it like it's not worth the money we got to pay, regardless of what we're gonna make back on it. So Just Top Rank being Top Rank. So
yeah, Marquis said this was in the Mick Collin Hulu house.
Yes. I know Crawford Khan was MSG. Yes, that was.
Yeah, for sure, that was. Shout out to Mick Collin. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Mick Collin was one of the funniest boxers I ever met. Though, dude had jokes immediately. Like when I came up to him and I chat with him, he went with like 5. He roasted me with light jokes for it was just like in his first 5 like words he said to me. Like, dude was wild.
He was a character. He was a character.
Yeah, he was a good guy though. It's just a shame though that his durability is taking a big hit, so he's doing his own thing now. But hopefully he does rebound. At least he gets that little world title before he does kind of retire. But we'll see.
Yep.
But yeah, shout out to Mick Collin.
Yep.
So the vibes were right. The crowd was there and everything like that. Now, in terms of the in-ring action, because I missed the prelims because I was kind of out and about in Newport. So I didn't
So I'll give you the rundown from the prelims. The first fight was a debut, Julius Ballo against Brandon Ayala. I only got to see like the last couple of rounds. Nothing. I would need to see more of this bio kid. So I really don't have much to say. He looked good from what I saw. So, but like I said, I didn't get to see the whole fight. Then it was and this actually was a better fight than I thought than I was expecting. Steven Navarro against Christopher Rios.
And I heard that was a close fight.
And I like this is my first time getting to actually see Steven Navarro up close. I've always heard good things about him, but he was in a dog fight with Rios. Like it was a legit dog fight. Like I like the first 5 rounds, I had Rios up 3-2. I'm like, oh shit. Like they both got in good work, but Rios had the more eye-catching shots and was like landing harder. By the second round, Navarro was busted up. He had a cut open. And Rios was tough because Navarro could crack, and Rios was just walking right through and punching with him, hitting him with hard combinations. So it was a dogfight. And then at the later half, Navarro got settled down and really started working and throwing more cleaner punches. And he ended up squeaking out the decision. But like it was a close fight. It honestly could have went either way.
He looks beatable. He looks beatable. To me.
What's up?
He looks beatable. I mean, he doesn't look like a undefeated type prospect. Navarro.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. And like the only reason then I saw the scorecards and I was like, he won because they gave him the last round, and that last round he lost that last round. So I was like, yeah, it was definitely interesting scorecards. But you know what I'm saying? It was a good fight though. So shout out to both of them. I gotta see more of these guys. Rios was a dog. I left more impressed with Rios than Navarro. Then afterwards was Jan Santana.
Yes,
Aaron Alameda. And this is when the Dominicans were out in full force. Like
I believe it.
Yeah.
How was his pop? Like how was Santana's pop? You know, like how was he? You know, like did he seem strong? Because he couldn't budge that guy. He has power. You could tell, but like when I'm up close when I'm up close, I try to listen to see what the punches sound like when they land. And so like I could tell by the way he hits that he's got pop. Hold up. Marquis said Navarro smoked dude in his debut in ABQ. They need to run that fight back. Yes, they need to run that fight back, that last fight. But I think Santana can crack, and he's got speed. The problem is that he puts his hands are low. Like he's not defensively responsible. So like if he was a faster fighter, will make him pay for the shit he does. Because he just he comes in arms to like chest, not keeping his hands up. And like I said, that's a bad habit. That might come back to bite him. But overall, it was a good fight. He overwhelmed Alameda with his output, and his fast hands. But I don't know. Some people weren't all that impressed with this match. So
see, Alameda though, he's a tough guy because front of these two is like I thought maybe Santana would be able to pull the trick and actually stop him but then it was foolhardy. But then like I realized this is a guy that went 12 with Neri and pretty much had Neri in trouble. Like Neri couldn't do anything with him, and Leo had a hard fight with him too.
But that was at 122, right? Both those fights.
Those were at one. Those were 122.
126. Santana's a featherweight, if I'm not mistaken. So
Santana. I guess. Oh, go ahead, P.
No, he could punch. He
can absolutely punch.
So, like, I don't think it's a matter of Jan not being able to punch. I just think Alameda is tough.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so, I was like, damn. I was hoping he would stop him instead of just, but I was like, damn. I mean, it was worth the shot, because Alameda is like, say, because he's. I mean, I was thinking that maybe he would be caught though, but I think that's where my parlay busted. And then after that too, I thought that was going to be the only loss I had, but we'll get into that as we get farther down the card.
And then the next fight was Juanma Lopez Jr.
His power is crazy.
Yeah, he definitely inherited his dad's power. Lit dude up and got him out of there in the first round. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I saw the knockout everyone was talking about because I remember I was on Twitter and everyone was mentioning like, God damn, he punches loud. So I happened to see the punch. Yeah, like I mean, dude definitely inherited his father's power and stuff like that. I was like, geez.
Yeah, he can hopefully he didn't inherit his father's chin. So
well, I'm not saying Walmart had a decent chin until he ran to Salido. Like Salido kind of ruined
he's more his like maybe it was more his durability. Like over time, like he just became less and less durable.
I mean, all Walmart's losses came from KOs, I think.
Yeah. So, but you know what I'm saying, I definitely got to see more of Juanma Jr. I like what I've seen so far. So, but he's only 2 fights in, so we'll see as we go along.
Right.
Then the next one was it was Rohan Polanco. So then the next Dominican came up. So
of course.
He was supposed to do what Norman couldn't, but that stopped after it didn't happen. Sorry.
In Randall. But the thing is that so I'll say that Randall is a more like he's a better how do I say this?
He's spoiler for sure.
He's a better version of Sandor Martin. Like
I like he's a spoiler type. Like I know
spoil, but like he's more effective at it. And he was giving low-key was giving Polanco a hard time. Because like Polanco was just frustrated because the jab and the awkwardness. Like I can't tell you how many times Polanco was hitting him on the top of the head,
on the shoulder, on the back, the shoulder and the back. Yeah, I saw that.
He was getting frustrated. He wasn't able to hit cleanly. It got chippy quite a bit.
I feel like I just want to interject real quick on Polanco. Like he's getting a lot of hype. Like a lot of people were saying he's gonna KO Quentin Randall like Norman couldn't. And both, obviously Randall's a guy that's hard to look good against. But I like the lack of the jab, the lack of level changes, not putting your punches together. Like Polanco hasn't looked good to me his last 2 fights. I don't know. I think they need to teeter down on the hype a little bit. I don't know.
But I'll say this: the feedback for Polanco it all over the place. Some people really liked this performance. Some people did not like it at all. Some people are higher on him as a talent, and some people are lower on him. Like it's all the opinions vary. There's not a distinct opinion on this one. I still like Polanco, but he still after this fight, I can tell he's still a little bit of a work in progress. So they need to calm down on getting him. Oh well, he could beat this person. He could put him against Norman. No, if he fights Norman right now, that's
Norman would hurt him. Norman would hurt him. Yeah, I don't know. Like a guy like Tiger. I know he did because Tiger Johnson was kind of ahead of the curve against like in terms of them two, but Polanco was getting KO, so he kind of got more top billing, I guess. But a guy like Tiger, if his chin hold up, could probably beat Polanco. I'm not Tiger Johnson. I'm just saying like that kind of. I know that they'll never make it because it's 2 prospects. But this is like something to think about. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't really consider them prospects at this point.
I mean, yeah, they're prospenders, I guess. But
Prospenders.
Prospenders. But overall, it was a good match. The Dominicans were happy, so let's say that. And that was it for the prelims. Then it was the main card. The funny thing was, Emiliano Vargas was up. I was getting popcorn. I was going to get my snacks real quick. I come back. I'm coming down the aisle, and as I'm coming down the aisle watching the fight, boom, the left hook. I was like, just floored him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, just quick out of nowhere. Like, Emiliano shot that hook from out of cannon. Just fucking dropped Espinoza. Like
he's crushing them cans. He's crushing them cans, but now he's getting hype and he's like Ryan Garcia type shit. You know what I'm saying? He's knocking them out, but he is fighting dudes that aren't really.
But hey, you're not getting paid by the hour, so
exactly. See, I mean, it's definitely at the point right now. I mean, I know the kid is 21, but it's definitely he's clearly the star brother in the whole trio. Like, it's Top Rank now needs to put him near at least a veteran or someone that's like a lower rank contender.
A credible name. I know it's still kind of early, but I mean, it's time to give him a little step up. Like, come on now.
I mean, let's put it this way. Like, they successfully managed to do this with Keyshawn Davis. They upped his competition early, and they did it perfectly until, of course, we remains to see what Keyshawn goes after what he pulled. But they built up Keyshawn perfectly with the terms of, like, because they wanted to kind of rush his career along. They kind of like they put him in the fire like early, and he kind of passed the test. Like, and then this guy, I mean, Emiliano seems to be the goods. They need to start doing that with him because crushing cans is good though, but he's getting to almost 20 fights. Like, you got to at least fight like a known guy or at least a faded ex-champion or somebody. Get somebody on that record.
Somebody that challenged for a title or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Drag up Pedraza, fuck it. Just bring him from wherever he's at. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but like I said, though, I like the kid. The kid has upside. He has a lot of upside, but it's just, I think it's just now that Top Rank should now kind of. I mean, it's time to let him, try to take the training wheels off and see what he can do. I mean, shit. His father got thrown to the wolves
too quickly,
like mad early.
Too quickly, a little quick. Yeah, that was a little too quick.
Well, I mean, too quick is so. I mean, but before he fought Tito, he beat like 3 world champions.
He did, yeah, that's true. But the Tito shit didn't fuck him up though. I mean, it kind of changes,
Yeah, I mean, it was just unfortunate that Tito was the one that kind of, that kind of changed his trajectory. How
was reception for Emiliano? P, like, was it a big pause for?
No, he definitely got a good cheer. So there was a bunch of Mexicans. So the Mexicans were fucking with him. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, to this day, like, I mean, Fernando Vargas still gets plenty of respect because he threw himself into the fire and he fought like this, like you like to say, he fought like a stereotypical Mexican. So it was just like, I don't think there's a day that Vargas will get booed.
Marquis said, at least someone with a box rec pick. I agree.
No, Espinoza did have a box rec pick. I did because I'm actually on it right now. So it's progress.
Yeah. But everybody was hyped with that. And then next was fucking Shushu Carrington. And everybody, all the Brooklynites were out. The crowd was definitely behind him. I think this was the loudest pro Shushu crowd I've heard so far. He's had quite a bit of them. So I'm like, okay, the buzz is starting to grow. So let's see if he can take advantage of it. And he fights Matias Hayda, and I don't know what to say, man.
There's just things like it's like some fighters have to understand that certain occasions call for certain type of performances. Like,
and this was not it.
This was not it. And funny thing, Shushu has power. Shushu can box. Shushu had when he's on point, he's a good combination puncher. But for some reason, if he gets too comfortable in his first gear, he stays in their first gear.
Those Africans, I mean, I know he did better this time against Sagawa, but those Africans be giving him issues, man.
Sagawa was giving him real issues.
This
one wasn't, but he was still rugged.
But he let him stick around for way too long. And that was the issue.
I mean, the guy was undefeated and shit, but like, yeah, you should have. I mean, P, you said in the chat, you said he was getting a lot of hype, New York shit, New York and all that. But
yeah,
by
the midway point, they were booing him. I was like, the boos started ringing in because they just weren't happy with the performance. And like the thing, like he was annoying me because he does that shoe shine where it's like 2-3 punches and then just sits there and admires his work, pose for the camera. That pisses me off. Like that's honestly like a pet peeve of mine. Like you might as well just step on the gas and get him out of there instead of spending your time fucking just shining for the cameras after 1-2s. Like, so that was annoying me, and it was just like if he would have went to the body, if he would have had a sustained body attack, he probably would have stopped Hayata because Hayata wasn't reacting well to the body shots, and he just kind of just abandoned it just to do shoe shine shots. So
yeah, it was too much of a clinic, and it wasn't like like causing like real damage to like. I mean, it was just like, oh hey, let me just outbox this guy, and and show that I can go 12 rounds. It was that type of performance. It wasn't like, hey, let me try to fish him in the distance just to and so I can get to my my dressing room earlier and get out and go about my evening type of shit.
He looked good against that I think it was an Asian Filipino guy he knocked out. Like he's always so he's like kind of Shushu's kind of hot and cold. It feels like sometimes he'd be looking like the next up. The other times he's like, don't fucking call it Espinosa. You're not gonna fight Espinosa type shit. You know what I mean? With him, it's like every so often. Like, how do you think he fared against Nick Ball? Honestly,
Nick Ball he'll beat. Nick Ball is not good. But fucking Espinosa, and he called out Espinosa. Espinosa was there. Espinosa will dog walk him.
I don't believe it. I don't believe he's gonna fight. I think Espinosa's gonna. Yeah, I don't think anybody really willing to fight Espinosa.
That's just a bad style because of the size and the work rate. Because like Espinosa's not gonna let you pose for the camera while you do the little silent agreement of 2-3 shots and just stare there. No, he gonna whack you while you if you gonna shine for the camera, he gonna give you a shiner while you waiting.
Yeah.
While you waiting for the cameras. So
for sure. Like, I mean, Espinosa, like, I mean, because me and LB were talking about this too. Like, Espinosa will dog. Espinosa because Shushu, he's not. His performance isn't mature enough. Like, he has a lot of raw talent, but he hasn't reached that type of maturity yet, physical maturity yet.
He's close to 30, which is like it's like time is, time is not ticking, but I mean, like you've been kind of on the same level for a little too long to me, man. I don't know.
Right.
You haven't even fought like the Baez Villa or Joe. You haven't fought a guy that's challenged for a title yet. And you're like 29 and shit. Like, come on, Shushu, you. I don't know.
Like I said, I mean, when Sagawa is probably your hardest challenge, and like I said, Sagawa is one of your, he's a rugged fighter, and that was a fight that he just didn't look at. I mean, truthfully, I thought he should have ran that back though, but I can see why they probably were like, we're not gonna do that because that guy was a little bit too rough.
It was rough and rugged, and not in a good way.
Yeah. So I get you went 12 rounds and you're cool with it, but it's just like you didn't there was no knockdowns or nothing.
And now he's the interim champion. He's very he should be. I'll say this: Shushu better be lucky that Fulton's not coming back down because that's not something he would want.
Well, I did see a side. I did see Fulton disgruntled probably because the Tank fallout not happening. So the him and Foster fight is like kind of in limbo. It seems like, or at least delayed. Because Fulton gets emotional on Twitter and shit. And so,
I mean, they'll probably fight, but I mean, depending on how. Because I know Tank is probably going to court this week or some shit like that. It depends on what. I guess it depends on what Tank does. Like, if Tank is not, if it doesn't look like Tank is going to fight for a while, then I'm sure it's probably going to be, it's going to be a prime card where they're the main event or something, or the co-main event, and they're going to they're just going to run it, or either that, or they're going to throw it on, Crawford, Canelo.
They're going to have eventually. It's a good fight, but yeah.
Yeah. So Shushu at least he's a point, because if Fulton beats Foster for his belt, then Fulton's not going back down, and then Shushu will have a belt, and then most likely it will make it more attractive for him to go fight Espinosa in a unification.
Yep.
Now, is that a good idea? Considering I think we all think Shusha just needs some more work. I mean,
I still want
not.
to see the fight. No, I want to see it. Because he wants it. If he wants it, then I want it too. Pause.
Yeah, I hear you. And yeah, Shushu, yeah, and Andrew, yeah, Shushu almost put me to sleep. And the funny thing too is like Shushu. I mean, he does when he's on. But yeah, like I said, sometimes you just. Yeah, he gets in his own head sometimes, and it's just like, oh, let me admire this and stuff.
I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think he puts people to sleep. I just think he leaves people upset because he has more to give, and he could eat like he could have easily put his foot on the gas and gotten him out of there, but he was content with shoe shining and scoring shots that were just like, they were eye catching, but it was just like, oh, all right, like this is getting repetitive, whatever, like, whatever, we don't care no more, boo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, we're still high on Shushu, but it's just we just want him to kind of turn the corner. Like I say, I mean, I hate comparing everyone to Keyshawn because Keyshawn turned the corner early, so it's like you want him to do it too, because honestly, I think with what Shushu, if he had that force, could actually kind of maybe move into that Keyshawn lane, but like I said, it remains to be seen.
Yep. So it is what it is with that. So we'll hopefully the next go around will be better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The main event though, again, like we mentioned before, it should be a performance that should be like, like people should be able to kind of read the room and be like, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to look impressive to do it. Not just like I just need to do it.
It was a good scrap. I will say that it was entertaining. So because Perez was there, was trying to beat up in his grill all night, and
that one body shot hurt.
So he was wild. Like Perez was wild. So like it was like he fought like he was the proverbial bull in a china shop. Like just mad aggressive. Mad wild, like not tamed at all, like and not in a good way. Like it was like, like I was waiting to see if Zayas could possibly run him into something, but it never happened. Like, and he hit him with some shots. He came in and hit him with the left hook, the right hand, like so. Both of them were throwing hands, and both of them were hitting each other, like real good shots. Eventually, Zayas was actually able to kind of tame him a little bit, like. By like the 4th, 5th round, Perez wasn't as gung-ho to just step in and just bum rush him uncontrollably. Yeah. But like the thing was that Zayas boxed well. The problem was that like there were times where there was a couple of occasions where he rocked Perez and Perez was stunned. But for some reason, either Zayas didn't realize he was hurt or just didn't take advantage of.
He didn't want to commit. He felt like he didn't want to commit at times.
No, but it's like it's weird because he's hurt. You might just fucking commit. Just throw something. Like the one time where he did commit, like which was like later on, like I forgot what round it was, I think the 7th or 8th, where like Perez was hit with a right hand that clearly shook him up, and clearly his legs weren't underneath him, and Zayas finally like saw it and tried to jump on it, but it was too late, and Garcia had kind of just gotten his wits about him and kind of recovered enough that like, okay, now he was able to just push through. So at the end though, I will say this, after the 9th round, the weight cut took its toll because Zayas was running on fumes by the 9th round.
Yeah, I saw it too. And that's when Perez actually had his best work of the fight in those last couple of rounds.
I guess Perez caught a bottom too. I guess Perez killed somebody back in Mexico, so I can see Zayas kind of not wanting to, because I saw a body shot hurt him a little early in the fight, and I'm still maintaining the Zayas is kind of the Puerto Rican Haney in a sense at 154. Just I don't care what y'all say. I just see some elements of similarity, but I think he won. He won like 9-3. Like what do y'all score? Like 9-3, 10-2. Like he clearly won the fight.
I had an 8-4. I had an 8-4.
It was like 8-4 for me too. Yeah, but yeah.
Marquis said Xander is legit too big for 154. Yeah, that weight cut was crazy. Now you could tell he was feeling the effects of it later because he took an enormous cut. Like and he rehydrated. He looked like a light heavyweight in there.
So see, this is what they like. I get it. I mean, because Xander. I mean, he started out. Did he start out at welterweight? Like, and he actually
he momentarily at 147. Very momentarily, but he was also fucking 17 years old. So
yeah,
he said we 7 years later or 5 years later. He's 22. So so his body he's outgrown 154. So,
I mean, he started at welter. I remember at welter he was knocking people out. Like when he was like really young, 17, 18, he was at 147, and unfortunately he grew out of it, and he hasn't really stopped anybody since then. But he does have good boxing skills. I mean, but
I mean, he performed admirably, but it's just like again, it should have been. I feel like it should have been more of a start. I mean, I get it, like the B side of it. Like, I mean, he got him because he got. I mean, it would if he did it to Charles Conwell. Maybe the victory would have probably spoke more, but like I said, Perez, unfortunately, he managed to upset Conwell, who, of course, we've already talked about that he was probably spoiling on the vine a little bit himself, and just managed to catch him at the right time to get this title shot. And then, and unfortunately, like I said, Perez was, I wouldn't say he's one-dimensional, but he just wasn't equipped for that type of boxing. At least not until Zayas kind of slowed down in the fight.
Yep, you are correct.
But I mean, hey, Puerto Rico has another world champion. Y'all have like 4 now, because before it was like a whole drought out there.
It was only Collazo.
Yeah, it was that Collazo.
Yeah. I mean, the crowd was happy with the performance, though. In the post fight, he talked about, he said he thought Garcia was a tricky, tough fighter. Didn't really. Said I didn't believe him, but he said he wasn't really feeling any effects in the later rounds. He wasn't drained or anything like that. But I think that's just him saying that. But he was clearly like running on fumes.
Yeah, he was labored
by the 11th round. So he might just be trying to convince himself. But he said he was a tough fighter. He wasn't trying to knock him out. He was just taking it how it went. And he wants to have his first defense in Puerto Rico. He wants the champions. He called out Fundora. He's been calling out Fundora, so it's interesting.
Yeah, Fundora. I mean, I'm not saying because Fundora is definitely not unbeatable to me. He's still not. But Zayas isn't punching like that to really get Fundora's type of respect.
That's true, but I would still want to see it.
Yeah, I do too, because I mean that was supposed to be the fight. Then Fundora gave up the belt to go fight Zoo.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't liked the way that Fundora's been moving when it comes to Zayas. Like that, my ears kind of perk up with this shit. Like Zayas was backstage in Fundora's, not this fight with it was with Cordell Booker. He was back. I guess Zayas was backstage because he was trying to have a face-off with Fundora after he fought, and Fundora just kind of blew him off, which is crazy. And then apparently Zayas is saying that Fundora wanted to put a catch weight on Zayas.
Or like a rehydration clause too.
Sorry, a rehydration clause, not a catch weight. A rehydration.
Oh, that's kind of pussy. That's terrible.
Crazy. That's crazy. Like that. See stuff like that when a fighter is moving like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes my eyebrows perk up.
But I wonder why. Is it just the boxing skill? I mean, Fundora. I'm sure they don't have the same reach because, like I said, one of Fundora's biggest weaknesses is people that have his reach, like a Jamante Clark, who gave him all types of fits because he was able to touch him like easily. So I wonder if that's maybe it's just the boxing or the movement or whatever. I'm trying to figure out. I'm just trying to see what actually kind of spooked Fundora into facing Zayas.
But y'all would say the top 3. I mean, are Fundora, Virgil Ortiz, and probably Bachram, or would y'all put Zayas in the mix too? I mean, that's like what I'm saying at 154 currently.
I mean, you gotta put him in the mix, but he's probably at the end of that list because Perez is like his first real kind of notable opponent, so to speak.
So I mean, you can't put him any higher. So
yeah.
And then who's so you got Fundora, you got Mirzaev, and who's the other champion?
I mean, no, those are Bud, but he don't count because Bud's never fighting that.
Bud's not.
Yeah. I mean, if Virgil has never got a belt, but Virgil's got to be up there still.
Isn't Virgil the interim?
He's the interim. Yeah, he's the interim.
So he should be fighting for a belt soon, then.
Hopefully, eventually,
I think. Yes. I mean, he's the interim for. I mean, so he's probably the number one contender for Fundora's belt, but who knows if Fundora will actually go after him?
Well, Fundora's got to fight somebody. Something's got to give. So
yeah, exactly.
The thing is that, and it's funny because a lot of people were like, there were a lot of people that they wanted to see Fundora fight Zayas over a rematch with Zoo, and then we see what happened, and it's like, maybe we should have gotten the Fundora fight, so the Zayas fight. I'm still wondering, what that would be like. Even if everybody thinks that Zayas is food, let's see Fundora do it.
Zayas has good skills, and Fundora has improved.
So apparently, from what I've heard, what I heard was the notion behind going after Zoo instead of Zayas was apparently the powers that be feel like the Zayas fight didn't need to happen now, that they always felt that they could go back to that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas apparently they felt like with the way Zoo is moving, they felt like it was more likely that he loses again soon because of just the way he moves and the fights he takes. Mm-hmm. So they figured, I guess, you might as well get that fight in now.
Just cash it out type of thing.
Because if you wait too long for that rematch, you might not get it because Zoo will probably lose again.
Right.
So, which makes me wonder if the powers that be thought that Keith would have beaten Zoo.
On PBC side. You're talking about PBC side? You're talking about PBC side, right? With Thurman?
Yeah. So, it's interesting. But like I said, they got to circle back to that because I still really want to see that. Mirzaev is going to be busy with Lupin. So.
It is kind of funny, though, in regard to Thurman Zoo, because a year and a half ago, other than maybe me and P and Michelle, most would think Zoo would slaughter Thurman, but now it's like, what really would have happened?
Yep.
I'll go ahead, P.
I was gonna say it would have been a good fight though. And I still think that Fundora and Zayas will be a good fight, regardless of what you think about. Well, is he going to beat this person? No. Even if he beats him easy, it's still a good fight, and I still want to see it. So that's all I got to say about that. Yeah. Overall, good night of boxing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would say too, I can understand the criticisms. Obviously, with it being the last contracted ESPN show for Top Rank or whatever, I know some people have been saying this is exactly the reason why they're getting thrown off ESPN and so on and so forth and stuff like that. I've seen a whole bunch of tweets like that. I'm just and they're like, oh yeah, this is just this is where ESPN's money went to and all that to nothing. So it's like I said, I hope that ESPN does not. Because it would be weird to be the worldwide leader in sports, but don't have probably the oldest American sport on there and not covering it in any fashion. That's just too crazy to me. So yeah, I know Top Rank has mentioned before they're gonna do streaming as well as a regular TV channel. But remains to be seen, what that's gonna be. I know they're probably gonna go on a little summer hiatus. For at least I know for August, but we'll see what happens because Monster fights in September, so they're gonna have to kind of figure out whether Monster, what I'm sure they have to kind of reveal what it's going to be, or is Monster going to be airing on DAZN, which is the other which is most likely going to be the alternative if Top Rank doesn't like say like what their plans are.
Oh, brother.
But but like I said, Top Rank, like I said, I mean, I wish it went out with a little bit more of a bang, at least especially with the main and co-main. But hey, you got at least there was a new champion and stuff like that, and then Top Rank still has talents that they can kind of build on for whatever the next move may be. So,
I mean, Bob said that they got something in the works. So
yeah,
as far as the streaming Top Rank on Bounce.
Yeah, honestly, if that happens, I would be surprised. I mean, Bounce is on I mean, you can find it, but the thing is, Bounce is not on HD. At least it's not on Fios' system.
I do see or imagine a lot of fighters potentially being on like OT, a lot of their not lower level, but the expendable fighters going to like OTX and some of the club, pro box, some of the high level club cards until they find a home.
Yeah, either that or they'll go on a turkey card. I mean, Shushu is a Riyadh scene ambassador, so
a lot of the big names will be on the turkey cards, but Bob Aaron's been in the business for 50 years. They'll figure it out.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, if there's one person in this whole boxing industry that I'm not really worried about what type of moves they make, it's Top Rank. They've been in this business since 1966. So like, yeah, they've done it all, seen it all. Like I'm pretty sure him and Todd are putting.
Yeah, they've been in this game for decades. So I'm not concerned about that. You're right.
Yeah. But like I said, it remains to be seen. Now, did any of you did you guys catch the Clarissa Shields card?
I did not.
I watched the Tony Harrison fight and the main event. I did watch.
Same with me. And let me go on the Tony Harrison fight. I have to
I'll let y'all talk on this one because I'll sit back and listen because I really didn't
we all like Tony. Like Tony, he's a character. Like he's entertaining.
He knows his boxing. He knows his boxing
and everything like that. But he's clearly on a decline. He's on a real decline. I get it. He's trying to make a comeback with Salinas promotion. I know they were, he was talking it up and everything like that. But this was a fight where I expected him to actually knock out dude. Like, real, because Tony hasn't stopped anyone since like 2017, 2018. Like this was a fight that I expected him to at least put somebody away.
Or down, not him hitting the camera.
Or down even.
Because he got dropped. He got dropped like in the 9th round. And
sure did. Yeah, he lost. And that's the thing, because that's why I put it in the chat when I was watching. I was like, oh shit. The jobber Diaz, he dropped him. And I'm just like, this is not good because Tony was winning the fight. He was boxing like he was doing what he was doing. But again, he always loses steam or focus or whatever. It's always that 9th round for him that thing suddenly just goes like haywire with dude. And then of course, he fought a Dominican, and all Dominicans can punch. And this one had 12 KOs and 15 wins. So down he went. And I'm just like, geez, Tony, but I mean, to his credit, he got back up and and he managed to to not go down again. He managed to go to the distance. But it was just a performance where I was expecting just so much more, especially from a guy, because this guy got stopped by the cat that that Berlin got knocked out in the first round on that last Eddie card. That's his level. That's the level of this guy. And it's just like, come on, this should not be. Tony should not be getting dropped by somebody like this. So, yeah, for me, I mean, I don't know about you, probably, but do you think Tony should probably pack it in before he suffers another brutal knockout?
Yeah, that wasn't. I know it was almost a 2-year layoff. He hasn't fought since the Zoo knockout. I don't think, right? So,
yeah.
That was when Zoo was in his quote unquote prime. So
right.
yeah, no, I mean, I watched that fight. I was disappointed. I know he's a Detroit ambassador. Supposedly he was really a good sport, being the Coleman to Clarissa and all that. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like maybe if you want to fight a lower level, like those kind of guys, but I don't think him being a future. I think that fight was at 162, if I'm not mistaken. So I think him being a future.
It was. Yeah.
Him being a champion at 160 is. I mean, I know how bleak 160 is. He still would get hurt bad. So yeah, I agree with you, Pat.
Yeah, I don't see it because I mean, if you're losing your concentration and you're getting dropped by these level of opponents, like then it's not just it's not lack of defense. It's something that is gone. It's not. It's something that's completely gone because it's like luckily I didn't put any bets on this fight because I would have put Tony should have won by KO. Yeah, and it's funny too because when Tony was coming up, Tony used to get cats up out of there. I don't know what happened. Like Tony used to KO people.
He used to punch. And I think what after Willie Nelson, supposedly like he just kind of changed his style up. Is that what it was after Nelson KO'd him?
Yeah, because he got wore down, but it was just like he was winning that fight, but it was just like I don't know what it was, but dude has 21 KOs in his 30 wins. Like he was a puncher, and then all of a sudden, I don't even know if you can call him a boxer puncher, but he's just he is more boxer, and he does have really good skills, but it's just like
didn't Manny Stewart train him?
Yeah, he's probably one of the really last batch of fighters that was trained by him.
He's one of the last Kronk guys, basically.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why he was such a puncher because Manny he wasn't the type of guy that was just like, oh yeah, no, like no, you better get him the fuck up out of there. Like he wasn't one with the whole boxing.
He wasn't a full science. He wasn't a science teacher. He
knew science,
so of course.
But he knew when to say, yeah, you need to get the fuck up out of there.
Yeah.
Real
quick on that note, who do y'all think was, and Pete can answer this too, but who was better in their prime to y'all, J-Rock or Tony Harrison? Who's a better fighter to y'all?
Harrison by a little bit.
By a smidge? Okay. Yeah, J-Rock got the win over Hurd. J-Rock got the win over Hurd, on the road, so.
Pete, what do you think, J-Rock or Tony?
I said Harrison by a smidge.
Yeah. Tony was a little bit. J-Rock was a better boxer, but he wasn't as spectacular. Tony was getting them out of there. I think that's where it counts. That's where I counted. But it took J-Rock a little bit longer to kind of get to the point of actually fighting. To get in the wins over like a notable competition. Whereas Tony was he was already getting them up out of there. So, yeah. Just by a little bit. Although, like I said, I still think to this day, like Tony did not beat Mel the first time around or anything like that. But that's depending on who you talk, that's not really a popular opinion to mention. But I like Tony, but Father Time is like he hasn't been the same really since his father died, and something is missing from his performances. And it's just like I don't want to see him get hurt or get brutally knocked out by someone, someone that couldn't carry his jockstrap or anything that when he was actually doing what he was doing. So, but he was a good sport. He was like, what? I'm a notable fighter. I'm going to talk to someone, and I'm going to be on Clarissa Shields' undercard. So props to him, we'll see what he does with Salida Promotions. He won, but it's just like it's just going to remain to see what's next for him, though. But Clarissa Shields and Lonnie Daniels, I have to say that again. I don't like to bash Clarissa Shields. I don't like it because she's dominant. She's no question about that. But above 168, there is nothing there. Absolutely, positively nothing there for her. And
that was she that was like almost in the beginning her Skull performance, Skull Canelo type shit, right? Like obviously Lonnie Daniels didn't want to engage. She She did engage later, but I'm saying the first couple 3 rounds, she was literally on the back foot, not engaging at all.
Back foot boxing, Tom and Jerry shit, basically. Like I was like, I don't know what you think you're doing, but you know, you're supposed to move. It's not move and move. You're supposed to stick and move.
Stick and move.
She's over here. She's over there bouncing left and right and
it was really annoying. But and credit to Shields because Shields did find her. You know, she was able to cut the ring off and get her. You know, hit her. Obviously, she didn't stop her. Of course not. But I will say I think the added weight for her, you can see it's kind of affecting her a little bit in terms of her fluidity, you know, and you know, obviously she's still got the skills, but she's a little more lumbering.
She's becoming a little plotterish.
Yeah, plotty. She's kind of like in that, not say the Canelo stage, but she's kind of like she's not as fluid anymore. She's not, you know, she's not as fast.
And this is what we talked about this before because, you know, I know in the past she's complained about, you know, losing her quote unquote booty when she cuts down to like 154 and 160 and all that. But truthfully, she could stand to cut down some weight, like because it's like because usually you think with added weight she should get more of these broads up out of there. Like, you know, like she knocked down one broad and then she stopped the white girl for those belts or whatever.
That was nice from top the white girl, and you know she did. You know, hurt the other girl real nice shots late too, but this one, Lion Daniels was a tough. I mean, then again, Lion Daniels had a draw twice back to back with the 1-6 chick, so I can't. You know, I mean, that's kind of sad to be honest.
But also too, like, isn't like Lonnie like a Pacific Islander or some shit like that? They're all tough.
She's from Australia, and you know, they're usually tough. You know what I'm saying? Samoan type shit.
Samoan. Like you're not gonna knock out a Samoan easily. But this one didn't want to engage, you know.
But later on in the fight, I will say she was kind of because she did, you know, 7-8 rounds. There was some action a little bit. It wasn't like completely skull Canelo the whole fight. Like after like the 7th round, there was, and the Shields was getting hit more than I've seen her get hit. I ain't gonna lie, Shields was
But the thing is though, it's like this is like what people say when they watch close to Shields fights. She should be like if they're not on her level, she should be getting them up out of there, and she's not. And this is where it's a problem. Like if you point it out, people will be like, "Oh, you're just hating." It's not hate. It's simply that's not what she's not doing it. Like I mean, I don't know if it's maybe she needs the 3-minute rounds, but then if you're not, you know, but I know LB will be like, you know, if you can't do it in 2, what's 3 gonna do? So it's like. You know, if you can punch, you can punch, and I get his viewpoint on that, but it's just like it makes for tedious viewing, especially since she doesn't necessarily turn over her punches either, unless it's like maybe an overhand right or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But the body shots, though, she was working those body shots too. Like she landed, I know, a couple nice body shot left hook combinations and everything like that. But it was just like,
yeah, I think. Not say the writing's on the wall, but I know like she mentioned after the fight, her and Salita, she's a free agent now because her and Salita's contract ran out. So, and she mentioned how, you know, I know she got the papoose tattoo, and she's talking about already having kids and shit. So it seems like she's you know, she's probably, you know, she about did what she needs to do. She like she might be done soon, right? I mean, obviously she might look for a fat bag from Jake Paul or something, but it feels like, you know, she might be done soon from what it sounds like. It seems like.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too. And it's, like I said, I mean, she's not like I said, she's fighting out of the weight she really shouldn't be at, but it's like it's a wasteland. And you know, and I know we've all talked about her conditioning before, how she looked like, you know, like I know on that weigh, and I was just like, God, like she looks a little bit sloppy. Like this it's not really the added weight didn't look good on her like that. So, but I get it too. It's like, but it's like, who does she fight? Like, you know, Chris Cyborg, like, you know, that's or
it's like real like Shadeza Green, or obviously if you want to bring Muhammad Ali's daughter out of retirement after 17 years, like that's
and I know that now that's gotten a lot of steam, and like I said, maybe 5 years ago or something like that, that could have been maybe I would have been mildly I would have been more interested, but. Yeah, Layla's almost 50. It's not really. She hasn't fought since 2007. It's not really a good idea. Like I'm kind of over old fighters coming out. Like, I mean, because I wasn't very happy with Pacquiao and Barrios for a lot of different reasons, and then the whole Mike Tyson Jake Paul shit, and I'm just like, I'm starting not to like that, and I don't want to see someone, unless Layla was coming out to like say do an exhibition with Ann Wolfe.
I'm be honest with you, I have no interest in that. I really do not.
Yeah.
Nobody does, but
and by the way, that I've been laughing because I've been like, if Papoose if he's still rapping, he needs to quote the Biggie line: "Tattoo on titty saying PAP."
It shouts out Rick Ross. Rick Ross did walk around and shit.
Rick Ross. Yeah, and I'll say this for her too. For someone who's like a maverick in terms of how, because she's not signed to anyone that's really that's like moving like. That's like really moving women's boxing. She can fill a crowd. Like, I mean, she does. I mean, as long as she kind of stays in her territory, like an old school wrestling territory, she sells it out.
Yeah, it gets kind of lit in there, right? Detroit. Detroit. They'll support their own.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to go to a car like that. I know P. I mean, P went to Baumgartner's car her last car when she was in Matchroom, and and that was that was pretty lit too over there for her. And it's just like, I would love to go to Detroit just for that, just to see. She does have a following though, but like I said, if you want to call it a vote or whatever, you gotta body somebody like G.
Yeah, and this Papoose, I mean, the Papoose thing has got her. I think some of that I don't want to say that shade room shit or whatever, but her and the Papoose thing with Remy Ma in the mix and all that has kind of garnered her, has had her cross over. Because I have a coworker sister girl who kind of talked to me a little bit about Clarissa Shields, and like ever since the Papoose thing, she talks more and more about it. So it's like, and obviously you can see on the internet how she kind of gets on these blog sites that don't used to not mention her. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
So the Papoose shit has definitely helped and enhanced her profile,
Yeah, it's actually crazy for both of them too, because I mean, Pap has been rapping since like the late '90s. Like, I mean, back when he was actually like a little nigga on Cool G Rap's albums and shit like that. And this is the most attention, and the most attention he gets is from this type of shit.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the busting around shit too, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy how both of them like. This is the shit that's giving them the most attention that they've probably had in their professional lives. And yeah, Chris Brad, yeah, her ass was fat, but she does look sloppy. I mean, truthfully, I'm one of the ones like Clarissa Shields is like cute in a little sister way. Like, I don't find her like she's cute, but I don't necessarily. She's not like I don't really find her attractive like that. She's cute, but yeah, she's not that cute to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's more. I like my women with a little more grown look, so to speak. When it comes to women boxers, though. But yeah, she is a little sloppy. At 154, she actually looks like okay. She can really, she looks like okay. She can do what she needs to do. I mean, she got her knockouts at 154. So it's like
she had like 3 or 4 knockouts, not much. She don't have much knockout though.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I guess whatever she does. But yeah, it's getting to the point where now it's either you. I mean, Savannah Marshall just lost, so that fight's off the table probably. Yeah,
Shanice Green's really the only one that left. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, because Marshall gave her probably her hardest fight. Like that was like a really hard fight for her.
I mean, Shields is literally too big for her. I know she mentioned Michaela Mayer, who fights at welterweight, or Bomb. She's just too big. I mean, that's why a lot of the Chantel Kramerman about that 120, 130 to 147 range for chicks is the average woman size type of thing. So the bigger you go with these females, the lesser the pool, much lesser of a pool.
Yeah, I mean, you can find women talent at 154 too. 160, that's when it kind of gets iffy. 168, just not as much, but yeah, above 168, yeah, good luck.
Is there interest in Shadeja Green Shields for y'all?
I mean, probably now that Shadeja actually like she beat Marshall, so there's probably an upside to it. You know,
but I mean, Shields would school Shadasia Green, right? But Shadasia Green does have a little bit of pop. You never know. So
yeah, like I mean, like if they announce it, I wouldn't be mad at it. You know, but but like I said, it's just because literally, like it's probably the last opponent outside of her making circus fights that kind of makes sense. Yeah, because anything else is just like fight Chris Cyborg or do some old circus shit or whatever, Jake Paul card or but I just don't unless she cuts weight, I just don't see any other type of opponents that's kind of left out there for or maybe running back with Cruz Dezern again, who also gave her a hard fight. So
Cruz Dezern, I was watching her on a club card. She lost her last fight, but she got the decision. That was kind of bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. Like this Mexican chick was giving her work, but she got the decision. So she's probably a little washed herself too. Fashion.
Yeah, she's probably getting there too. She's probably getting up there in age too. So it's just I wouldn't even be surprised though. But
she looked bad in that fight. I ain't gonna lie. Like even though she did beat Shadasia Green, a year ago now maybe, she ain't looked good since. It feels like.
Yeah, her beating Shadasia Green, like, that was surprising because I was not happy. I think I definitely put money on Green knocking her out, and it was just like, what the fuck? When I actually watched that damn fight, I was like, yeah, Shadasia Green nearly got canceled because I was just like, ain't no fucking way you should have lost the way she lost. She got
outboxed. She got outboxed crazy by Franchon. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was though, but I mean, by all benchmarks, I mean, I would assume that the event is a success, right? And like I said, her contract with Salida is up, so we'll see. Like, if she's gonna remain loyal, or or she's just gonna remain kind of independent and just kind of do her last couple of fights before she decides to go have a baby with Pap. Who knows? But it should have been I just can't stand watching 10 rounds of that, and like a person's not even like, she's not dropping her opponent. At least drop her at least once, something.
Yeah, that was disappointing. I mean, it's kind of what do you expect? I mean, I'm just saying, Shields got like what, a 10% KO ratio, probably
10%.
I'm just saying, like barely.
Actually, you know what? I'm curious. So let's see what. So it's 17.
Oh, 17. Okay, let me see. Yeah, 17. Well, no, 17 wins, 3 knockouts. So yes, 17. Wow.
17%. Yeah, that's.
But 3 knockouts. I mean, 17 is still pretty. I mean, pretty bad. I mean, not bad. She's a great boxer. Clarissa Shields probably the GOAT in terms of skills, but yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, most women boxers are not big punches. It's just unfortunate for her that. I mean, Katie Taylor has more knockouts than her, and she hasn't stopped anyone in a while either. So it's like, yeah, like the women are not big punchers, but it's just like, with who she's facing, she's not knocking any of them down. So, but I'll give her props though. The event was cool. I mean, everyone was rocking. Like she's a maverick, but she's doing her own thing. And she's succeeding on that level. So, that you can't really hate on. She's really doing it on her own.
Well, that's again, like I mentioned, she's off Salida. I said women boxing kind of peaked with her and Marshall. That year when Taylor and
Mayer and Baumgartner
it kind of peaked. I mean, because they carried women boxing. It felt like women carried boxing a little bit for a brief amount of time. It felt like, and then that was its apex. And it ain't really. I know they had the Netflix women's card that kind of underdelivered. I feel like, but I don't know. It seems like it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess we're gonna have to see because remember all the women that we've mentioned before are like. They're either well into their careers right now, or they're getting ready to kind move on. So, but we'll see what Clarissa Shields does in terms of direction. Because I know she stopped doing MMA because she didn't want to have her arm broken, and she was having issues recovering from the injuries that she got.
She did take her. I mean, she did take a professional loss, so that kind of probably played a role a little bit too. I'm just saying.
Right. But yeah, for next weekend though, we do have a we have a Golden Boy card in Chicago of all places, and it's actually a hell of a fight. That's in the main event. We got Oscar Duarte, and then also we have what am I forgetting? Kenneth Sims Jr. I was like, I went blank for a minute. I was like, Kenneth Sims. Yes, and they were supposed to fight last year on that Latin Fury card or whatever that that Turkey did in November, but Sims got injured. And then Duarte fought Akhmadev, which was a really, really good fight. And Duarte won a convincing decision over him. Duarte and Sims are the only two fighters that I'll accept that they beat Akhmadev, because anyone else, yeah, get the fuck up out of here. Ain't no wins. And y'all know who I'm talking about, so I won't mention it because I won't go off on any rants with that. But yeah, no, this is a really good fight. I think they're like ranked 4 and 5 in terms of their rankings, and it's gonna be interesting to see because Duarte is basically is. First of all, I think he's big for fucking 140.
He's got crazy power. Like he's got his, and Sims is a dog. Sims isn't a Tom and Jerry type of fighter. And that worries me because Sims be getting hit a lot. I know he's supposed to be the slick black fighter or whatever, but he does get hit a lot. So it's like this is a hometown. I know he just got a Chicago day for and all that, but it might end bad. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I think he could clearly win and outbox Duarte because Duarte can be outboxed, but Duarte got serious power. That's the thing.
Yeah, Duarte has serious power and serious stamina too. On top of that, Duarte is I think he's he's a nightmare to face, and it's probably the one win that Ryan Garcia has that's aged nicely, because Duarte was given Ryan Garcia all types of issues, and then Ryan's left hook kind of bailed him out on that one, But yeah, Duarte is a problem because he brings a lot of pressure. He punches hard, and he can go 12 rounds easy. And like I said, and I would say that Duarte had an easier time with Akhmadev, quote unquote, than Sims did. Sims had his eye was swollen shut after that fight with Akhmadev. With pilots saying, just mentioning that Sims gets hit a little bit too much. But in terms of do you think? But Pilot, you said you see Sims outboxing him. Now, do you think it's going to be wide, or do you think it's going to be like maybe a 115, 113, or something a little bit 116, 112-ish?
Yeah, I think it'll be relatively closer cards. I could see, I'm always born in Illinois, so I got some roots there, you know what I'm saying? So I am going to go with Sims. And it'll probably, right. I'll say like 117, 111, 116, 112. He might get dropped. You never know. He might get dropped, but I think he'll win a pretty comfortable decision. I feel like.
Yeah, and P, what about you?
I think he will get dropped. He's gonna be a firefight with Duarte. I think he gets dropped, but still ekes out a decision, like a 114, 113. I can see a split decision.
Yeah, and I also see that too because Sims is not a big puncher. He can punch, but he's not a big puncher like that. And Duarte has a good chin.
I just think Sims could be baited into a firefight.
Pretty much, yeah.
He likes to fight. He likes to fight. He stands in the pocket. He's not on the back foot.
But to his own detriment.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, if you wanted to bait him into going blow for blow with you into a phone booth fight. He's more than willing to do it.
He's willing
to his detriment.
Because he fought somebody, I don't know if it was a fight or two ago, but he fought somebody and the guy was coming from a lower weight. He was getting rocked. I was like, oh man, yeah. So, but he has the skill and talent, So it's this is a great. I know we always mention 140, but for some reason these two never get mentioned, and they should be. They should get mentioned in the mix.
Yeah, Duarte. I think. In terms of 140, he has a more of a boogeyman type of role at 140 because, like I said, if he's an automatic hard fight. No one has had an easy fight with dude. Like like let's say, even Ryan, he was making Ryan uncomfortable before Ryan was able to uncork that left hook to stop him.
Yeah, Ryan was doing that. Ryan was doing that taco show, right? When he was doing some dumb version of a Philly show or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Duarte was hitting him at will, he was touching him, but he just couldn't take the left hook. So it was just I already know it's going to be a hard fight. Like myself, for some reason, Sims is a dog, but I just think Duarte is gonna. I think Duarte's gonna do his damage in the later rounds of the fight, and it'll be to his detriment too, because it's like I just don't see Sims being able to kind of.
Do you think? Are you saying Duarte's going to stop Sims?
I know. I think Duarte's going to win the decision, but I do think Duarte is going to drop Sims at some point in this fight, maybe even a couple of times.
I can see that. I can see might not be a great homecoming uniform just because Duarte is he got power, man, and his skills aren't that terrible. So he can box. So it's a tough fight. It's a real tough fight.
No, it is now. Actually, let me go check the odds real quick.
I'm pretty sure Duarte's actually the favorite a little bit, but yeah, double check. You check on your end if you can. I'm sure Duarte's actually the slight favorite.
Yeah, I would have. It is because I know the things that will stop me. The only outcome that will stop me is if Sims stops him. If Sims stops him, then I'll be like, okay, well, I guess I don't know what I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me just see. Going on FanDuel. Let's see what we got here. It's not on FanDuel yet? All right, let me go check the other one. I'm actually shocked that it's not on there. DraftKings. Let's see what we got here. No, I don't want to log in now. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Well, okay, then we have the money line out right now. So Duarte is a minus 155 favorite. Sims is a plus 120 underdog. The prop bets probably are not going to be released until probably later on this week. So, yeah, it's close. So Duarte is a slight favorite. So yeah, like I said, it should be a really good fight. Now, Sim, obviously, if Sim wants to make it easy, then he's gonna have to really stick and move, and not get touched by dude like that. Duarte is this. He's gonna have to be able to cut off the ring, and then obviously bait Sims into a firefight, which, like I said, it's not hard to do because Sims fights likes to fight macho. He will do that shit. So. But yeah, no, that should be a hell of a fight. I'm looking forward for that. But the co-main for this shit, I don't know why they want to put this as a co-main. With Regis Prograis and then JoJo Diaz. It's a weird combination because JoJo should be nowhere parts above 130.
Wait, what's that Boyz II Men song? The end of the road.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and Prograis, I don't know where he is because he refuses to go up in weight. He's determined to stay at 140 for whatever the fucking reason. I don't know why. Why he doesn't go. He could probably pick up a belt at 147. I just don't know why he likes to stay at 140 for as long as he has. Prograis.
Because he's. I think we know the truth about what would happen if Regis goes up to 147. I've been saying that for a while now. I think you already know.
Yeah, I remember I was an advocate. Why not move up? And every time I saw his interviews being a little scary about it, he didn't want to give up his. I think like King P's kind of inferring he didn't want to give up his advantages, and he probably would have got wrecked by now if he went to World Tour. Probably.
I've always said neither him nor Taylor. That neither him nor Taylor would make it very far at 147.
Ironically, they both should have probably went up. Obviously, Taylor, undisputed after a little bit, right? A couple fights, but I'm saying they should have both moved up to 147 after their fight, or not stay at 140 as long. But is what it is now.
Yeah, I just don't know why they just like. I mean, they probably would be able to prolong their careers if they at least attempted. I mean, Taylor, unfortunately, she stayed too long, and basically his body got cooked. Over a span of 3 fights, and now he's retired because he has retina damage. And Prograve is for all accounts is healthy, but he's just he could beat a Mario Barrios. Like I just don't understand why
he should beat Jojo Diaz. I mean, come on now, you should be able to beat Jojo Diaz still.
Yeah, Jojo Diaz has not looked anywhere near. I mean, he hasn't looked good since 130. 130 was basically where he needed to be. Like 130
he was just too fat. He was just too not living that. He was a little too.
Yeah, he's not. He's not a lightweight. Although he did have a hell of a fight with Fortuna and especially Devin Haney and with
Tevin Farmer too. He beat Tevin Farmer.
Well, that was at 130 though.
Oh, 130. I know. Yeah, I know. At 135, it felt like he was like. I remember like for a while, even not. I can't only blame him because a lot of Golden Boy fighters, Duarte included, like a lot of these guys were supposed to be at 135, but when I see the weigh-in, they're a couple 3 pounds over, and nobody really gives a shit. So, and that's what happened with Diaz, and kind of abused that.
Yeah, well, Diaz definitely did not belong at 135 because all but one of his losses are above 135. So like no 135 and above. And
Haney beat him, right? Haney beat him too. Devin Haney beat him right at 135.
Yeah, that was at 135. Yep. Yeah, I was there for that fight. Like I said, that was a hard Devin Haney fight. Like that was not like that was a hard 8-4-5. Like that was a hell of a fight. There was Zepeda he lost to, Hesta, Duarte. Duarte was the first person to stop him. Stop standing because he was taking too much punishment. It's just like, yeah, dude's been losing to people that he shouldn't be losing to. And Jojo Diaz used to fight slick too. Jojo used to be a slick fucking fighter at 122. Like I don't know what the fuck happened to that guy. And he actually got stoppages at that. It was So yeah, Prograis should. I mean, Prograis been looking shaky himself. But we all think that Prograis should actually beat him handily. I don't know about stopping him.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah,
he should stop him. But yeah, if Prograis loses, good career, Regis. If you lose to fucking Jojo Diaz at 140.
Yeah, I mean, Prograis, he went down from Haney and Catterall dropped him twice. So it's like
that's crazy. That was crazy. I mean, Haney dropping him. I think that's still Haney's best performance to me. Haney's best win, just a performance overall, was the Regis win. But Catterall dropping him twice was fucking nuts. I know he dropped Catterall too, but I don't know.
Dude was shaky against Catterall. Like I was like. So if he's getting dropped by these two who are not known for really dropping their fighters like that lately, then it's like if Jojo Diaz does it, then I'll be thinking that maybe Prograis needs to call it a day if Jojo Diaz manages to drop him because Jojo hasn't dropped or stopped anyone in a while. So, but like I said, if you're gonna put those two together, we might get another firefight. But at least
I'm sorry. Could you clarify what you mean?
Oh shit, that's my Echo Dot.
No, we don't need to clarify what he means.
Yeah, Alexa, power down.
It's been we haven't heard from Alexa in a minute.
Yeah, no, I need to probably unplug it because sometimes I say buzzwords and it comes on.
I do see. I don't want to jump the gun, but I see that the American heavyweight Joshua Edwards is back already. He was also on that Jake Paul card with the little viral knockout. So, American heavyweight silver medalist. Let's go. I think he won silver or bronze.
Yeah, I'm all jaded on American heavyweights for the time being.
Me too, but you gotta have some hope. You gotta have a little bit of hope. Shit.
Yeah. No, I've looked for that. I mean, I've been jaded since the 2000 Olympics, with Michael Bennett failing at heavyweight. So it's been a while. Like it's not, even before Wilder became a thing. Like
those days are gone, but it's good to see a Olympian American black heavyweight. Golden Boy's kind of keeping them active. So, just keep an eye out on them if you look for, if you still believe.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, obviously, because American heavyweight obviously will always get some buzz in there, and and stuff like that. But we'll see how that actually goes with them. But before we get up out of here, we do have a poll, the racist poll. if P, if you want to find it.
Which one?
The one who?
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking for it right now. I hate going all the way back. Oh, right here. Which of these had the worst racist rant? Mel Gibson, Hulk Hogan, Liam Neeson, or Donald Sterling? And we had 16 votes so far. Keep voting. 44% said Mel Gibson, 31% said Donald Sterling, and 25% said Hulk Hogan. Nobody picked Liam Neeson. So
yeah.
Are we saying rest in peace Hulk Hogan today or no?
Fuck
Okay.
no.
Just making sure. Because a lot of people are trying to just, trying to paint the picture of,
Yeah, and these people need to be banned from the bodega.
I was more a Macho Man nigga, even watching on the VHS, watching.
Why are they taking up for him? The man.
I was definitely a Macho Man nigga. I could tell Hogan was a snake always. Really.
Fuck you. The man said what he said, and now he's where he is. You don't need to make excuses.
It is kind of surreal. It is just a little surreal, I mean, everybody's dying. Like, this was a tough week. Not including Hogan. I'm saying rest in peace Malcolm Jamal Warner, and Ozzy Osbourne and shit. It's everybody, niggas is dying, bro. It's kind of it's just crazy.
Yeah, no. But with regards with the racist rant too, I mean, I didn't pick Hogan because Hogan, for whatever reason, they tried to cancel him, but he didn't cancel him fully. Whereas with Mel Gibson, he was canceled, but he wasn't canceled because he said the N-word. He was canceled because he also said the J word too, and Mel Gibson had a career. Like, I mean, Mel Gibson was still going strong before that little tape of his dropped, where his baby moms, he was talking about you're gonna get raped by a pack of niggers and shit like that, which, things like, oh, that should cancel him. But no, it's when he started going off on, the J words. And then that all of a sudden,
You can't do that. You can't do that.
And he knows, and it wasn't his first time doing that, but the fact that, that's what got him canceled. Like, all of a sudden, you can't find the Mel Gibson movie that's in the theaters. Like, and the times that he does get in the theaters, like Expendables 3, that movie gets leaked. Like that's like, whoever heard of that happening? Like, I mean,
but like all these ones, like Liam Neeson, he was talking about how he was like, I guess one of his friends got one of his women friends got graped, and he was gonna attack some black people, right? Just because of that shit. Wasn't that the main thing for Liam Neeson?
Yeah, that was the main thing. Funny things too is though, I don't think it got as much attention as it probably should have.
No, it didn't. I know he was on Atlanta and kind of did a little apology on that TV show Atlanta, which was kind of stupid. But the Donald Sterling one was a big controversy, right? Just the Clippers owner.
Yeah, it was. I mean, dude ended up losing his team over it because it made it hard too. Because I know, like,
I wonder who paid that chick to fucking do that to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's clearly like. That was inside.
Nah, it was the mistress that kind of that recorded him as he was going.
I know, but I'm saying somebody had to. The mistress didn't just do it out of. I felt like somebody had to make her. Somebody like said get him caught up type of shit. Because there's no way like.
No. I think it was like blackmail. Because I watched the miniseries. It was like blackmail.
Oh, was it blackmail? Okay.
Yeah. So and then it just got it spun from there. Yeah, like. Sterling is a huge piece of shit and an insecure piece of shit too.
Yeah, fuck Hogan. Fuck Hogan. I'll just say I was watching I think it was WrestleMania 5 with him versus Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. It's crazy seeing they're all dead now. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, you're seeing it, like they're from my era of wrestling. You're seeing this like, oh, like geez, it's like, I mean, I knew Hogan. I mean, was not. I mean, they're not gonna live forever. And stuff like that. But I mean, my feelings about Hogan's death is like, now Hogan, I know, means a lot to the wrestling industry because without him, the WWE is probably not as big as they used to be as it is now. And
I mean, Pat, you're a little older, so were you a Hulkamaniac? Be honest, as a little kid.
Yeah, of course. Who wasn't? Yeah, everyone was a Hulkamaniac. I remember I had the Hulk Hogan water gun. Like it was an actual like doll, but it was a water gun type of shit. Like, you know, it was a weird thing. I remember my mom got it for me for Christmas one year.
Yeah, you're probably geeked as hell. I mean, you know, Hogan was.
I played the old school WrestleMania game on NES, which is the worst fucking game ever, by the way.
I remember that shit was trash.
Yeah, it was trash. Like, you know, like I watched all the Hogan. I mean, WrestleMania 7 is the first pay-per-view that my parents like recorded on VHS. I still have the tape too. It's somewhere in my closet. So it's like and of course I've been to live events. I've been in the same arena as Hogan. Like I've seen him live. So it's kind of surreal in that aspect. I get he's big for wrestling, but as a person, he's a piece. You know, obviously, if you read the sheets, you know you've read all the stories on Hogan. How much of a snake he is. He stabbed you in the back. He's this, that, and the third, and like, you know,
ruin any chance of wrestlers having a union. Yeah.
Pretty much every wrestler right now from his era that's walking around crippled didn't need to be, but you know, Hogan kind of killed all of that because he was a top guy. And Vince was looking out for certain guys, and Hogan was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a stooge." Yeah. So I mean, so you can't get sympathy when you see Hogan walking around, limping around with his 415 back surgery and stuff like that. It's like, well, you know. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I remember just the Raw on Netflix. P probably remembers like the heat he was getting when he came out, and he like getting a hella booze and shit.
Yeah, because this was, I think everyone was tired of his shtick, like now, like waving the American flag, everyone pretty much knowing he's a piece of shit, you know, and it's just like, yeah, and that's what got him, you know, yeah, no one was fucking with him, but now of course, you know, they're playing niceties, you know, with SmackDown. I think P said they did a tribute on Raw to him, and I guess
they did it Friday and today, yeah, so they did it Friday and Monday and shit, yep.
Yeah. So it's just like but it's just disheartening to see so many people that not, you know, especially in the wrestling industry, not staying on code. Like I get it, if you don't follow wrestling like that, you know, you may not be familiar with Hogan's racism, but the wrestlers themselves are sure as hell familiar with Hogan's racism.
Yeah, and the ones that did tributes are the ones you expect, like a Bubba Ray, like you know, it's certain ones that and obviously Kevin Nash, even though Kevin Nash is really a leftist or whatever you want to call it, Kevin Nash he did obviously do it for Hogan because, you know, it's crazy. He's the last original NWO member left. Like that's crazy. Like, yeah. So
yeah.
If you don't count Bischoff.
It's nuts. But I mean, I simply cannot just be in good conscience. Like, I'm not gonna celebrate his death, but I cannot be in good conscience. You know, this is a guy that pretty much after he has sex with his best friend's wife, Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, he goes and sits down and goes off in one of the most ridiculous racist tangents that one will ever hear. Like, and then after that, you know, the incident with him and his son Nick at the jailhouse interview, where all calls are recorded after Nick was held there after he nearly killed his friend, but turned him into a vegetable in that car accident. And, you know, dude is talking about, you know, he hope he doesn't get hit with karma, so he gets resurrected as a couple of Blizzak Gizeyes, as he, you know, speaking in kayfabe Carney speak. You know, dude's a piece of shit. He's a total piece of shit. You know, it's just like, yeah, and it's like
I'm pretty sure that happened before the racist rant, because I think they might have uncovered that afterwards. But
I thought it was like, I mean, I know it's around the same time. I always forget which was first. Like,
let me see, because Nick Hogan car accident. The car accident happened when? Because I think he was around my age when it happened, like in 2007. So, the car crash happened in 2007, and he was in jail in 2008. So this was in 2008. When did I think the tape happened after that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2015. I always thought
no. It wasn't 2015. It was before then. That's just when they went to court for it. I think it happened in the late 2000s, 10s. like early 2010s.
No, I'm sure because I know because I remember on the college it was a big thread when it was kind of exposed. It was I think it was like 10, 11 years ago that the racist tape came.
No. That was when the tape was exposed, but it happened earlier because it was online. 2012.
Yeah, it's
because you got to remember that like they had to put together a lawsuit and uncover the tape. We
heard about it. We heard about the audio in 2015 because that's when it was leaked.
But it happened before that. Because the shit went to court. They had to go to court for that. The funny thing is, this whole thing to me is another example of why people settle out of court. Because like it's all because do you know how this whole thing came about?
How?
With the whole like how the whole like thing because it came from the lawsuit because fucking because Gawker that was a nasty fucking website, by the way. That was a fucking if anybody remembers Gawker, that shit was like the National Enquirer type shit. Like they put all types of degenerate shit on it.
Yeah, that was OD. That was like the prime fucking Wikipedia area. That
And
was
fucking
like prime.
And the fucking like Hogan had his sex tape on there because Bubba.
Oh God, I actually managed. I actually seen that sex tape.
I thankfully have not. But like he saw it on there and he wanted Gawker to take it down, but they never took it down because like he was what was it? Oh, because he didn't have the money. Like at the time he was broke. He actually got bankrolled by Peter Thiel, who was the founder of PayPal, because Peter Thiel was upset that Gawker outed him for being gay. So he had a vendetta against them. So he bankrolled the lawsuit so that he could take down Gawker. And he told Hogan his only condition was do not settle out of court. Like he wanted to just take them to the cleaners and get them to just go bankrupt, which worked. But it screwed Hogan because, like I always tell people, like when people say, well, why do people settle out of court? Why, like if somebody did something wrong to you, why would you settle out of court? Like people settle out of court for money purposes, and they don't want to go through a long process. The other reason is because when you go to court,
everything's out in the open.
Yeah, they got to go through discovery. And once you go through discovery and you go through depositions and a whole bunch of shit is uncovered, which then leaks out to the public, you don't want that shit out there. So you settle out of court before it even gets to that. If Hogan, I think if it wasn't for the fact that he couldn't settle out of court because he was told not to, if Hogan would have settled out of court, this whole thing we would have never found out. But because he didn't settle and he took them to court for everything, we found out what happens. So now you see why people settle out of court. So it's just interesting. But fuck Hogan. I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad we found out the type of guy he is.
Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, I get
the Black Twitter memes were pretty fucking hilarious. A couple when he passed, like just all the all the memes and all the
the memes and the jokes. Yeah, they were funny too. But it's just like, like Hulk Hogan, like the wrestler Terry Bollea, the man behind Hulk Hogan. Yeah, they're one and the same. Like I can't there's no way I'm gonna celebrate. I can't celebrate it and be like. It's not like Malcolm Jamal Warner, which legitimately made me sad because for a lot of different reasons. Hogan's is just like, yeah, I felt nothing. Like I mean, I'm sure his family is feeling his loss, his close friends, but dude ruined his legacy a decade ago, and whatever made him a racist. Hopefully, in the next life, he's not as racist or not racist at all. Or maybe he gets resurrected as a black guy as he so feared.
I hope he's a fucking zebra in Africa. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's just, the race, because that race pose like Mel Gibson, like he's around, but a Mel Gibson movie is pretty much it's straight to video status now. I don't even know when the last time a Mel Gibson movie that's actually been released, not even as like an appearance, but just as an actual Mel Gibson, like as a starring role. I don't remember the last time it's actually been in the movie theater. It's probably been a long time. Yeah, it's but yeah, he's strictly. I mean, either way, like I wouldn't. I mean, luckily for him, by the time they canceled him, it's more or less that they've, he's made a shitload of money. So, he's at least lucked out on that aspect. But yeah, no, I think that is it for our show. Do we have anything else that you guys want to mention before we get up out of here?
Real quick, there's some boxing. There is some boxing championship lower level fights not lower levels, lower weight fights in Japan with Sandoval, Antonio Vargas, Taraji. So.
Oh yeah, that's Wednesday.
Eric Rosa, that's like literally from looking at it, 3 title fights.
Mini Pac-Man, yeah.
Mini Pac-Man, Antonio Vargas got his belt in the mail, but he's a champion too. So Japanese stuff, if you're up earlier, whatever. That's all.
Yeah, no, I might that reminds me. I might actually go put some bets on that because I did see them on FanDuel and on DraftKings. So I might have to run myself to go put bets on those tomorrow. I was like, because I was only gonna put bets on the Golden Boy card, but I was like, okay, wait, yeah, that's actually right. So yeah, that's a good look, Pilot. Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna be up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll be able to catch those. Like I said, Japanese card is always a good time because there's always like fades that will happen on there, so there's no question about that. But yeah, no, and also Wednesday, hopefully LB will be feeling a little better, and then we'll be able to get our last soundtrack battle off. And then, of course, I know after that one, I saw the graphic, for Pilot to do weed songs before they get into the whole R&B thing again. So yeah, no, we got the music battles. They are, we got some in the pipeline and everything like that. So yeah, and also happy birthday to our brother Rome. I think he turned the big 3-0 and everything like that. So he's probably out there celebrating and whatnot. Happy birthday, young man. 30 is the beginning of the end. Yeah, you'll wake up tomorrow with a whole new different pains.
32-20. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, 30 is the new 20. Yeah, just like 40 is the new 30, right?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, no, but yeah, definitely salute to him. So yeah, if you see him on his Twitter post or whatever, wish him a happy birthday and everything like that, man. So salute him. But yeah, no, about to get up out of here. We'll see you on Wednesday. So for myself, Pat Scope here, doing the representative for King People They Could Be, and for Conscious Pilot, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, it's Shitsville. We talk about it. So until next time, peace.
Love and chicken grease.